morning, good afternoon, good evening, dead night for some of you, maybe. Not quite dead night, it's just morning for me. It's 7:25 a.m. in Central. I have no clue what time is track time. But anyways, hey everyone, this is Grash here with you. Coverage of Free Practice 1 in Qatar. Alright, so this is a sprint weekend. So we've only got this one practice session to deal with for people to figure out their setups and all of that, whatnot. Of course, the big story coming in is that McLaren disqualified themselves at Vegas. That's what you get when you rub your butt across the track all night long. So, why is my voice deeper? That's a good question. Why is my voice deeper? I'm probably still waking up. Looking at you right now. Yeah, those are the two big stories right now. I mean, they're going to be dealing with, what is it, the C3, C2, C1. These are the hardest compounds this weekend. And even with the hardest compounds, Pirelli has got a 25 lap maximum on the tires, which means we've got a 2-stop minimum for this race. This is drama, chaos. Hey, but great for Drive Survive. I'll leave it at that. If anyone watched the weekend update, there's a interview clip with Isaac Ajah. And Isaac basically goes and says, yeah, I know I'm racing next year. Not going to say where, but he is ultimately, he knows he's going to be driving somewhere. It is, with that, is likely to say that he is going to be at Red Bull, and he's been told that, but not yet public. Which puts Yuki's fate. It's likely Yuki's going to go out of the sport, which we don't wish ill on. It's sad to see that he is likely that is what's going on, but I want to thank everyone who's in chat right now, especially over on YouTube. We've got Sly, we got Paula, we got Mayaki. I know Shay is here, Andy's here. Scrolling back. Mayaki, I got it. I think I got everyone. You're a green chatter. Shout out, say something, so I can see that you're here. Yeah, I mean, these are the people on YouTube chat who are supporting the channel. I want to thank everyone over else on Twitch chat, like Anib, Ace. I mean, we got about a minute to go before the green light goes at the end of the pit lane. Just the blankets off Russell's car, and he's slowly coming out. So he's gonna queue up early. A few seconds early, but still. Yeah, we've got this track. I don't know what to tell you about. I have mixed feelings about this track. If Pirelli, I feel like Pirelli is not like Pirelli should be bringing tires that shouldn't have maximum limits on them. They shouldn't be putting like a 25 lap. That's just how I feel. Trusting your tires or bring the tires. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know if it's a Pirelli issue or if it's a track issue. 2 years ago, it was a track issue, and that's because basically the curbs when this track opened up were new triangle shape that were brutal on the tires. But it just feels like it's been 2 years. They fixed that last year. Why are we still dealing with tires that can only go 25 laps on this track? And they are out now. Russell's first out. Hulkenberg's next. Lawson and Isaac are going to be the first four to be out on track. Again, we're going to see a lot of cars out. It's going to be a busy track for this whole hour. Because this is the only practice they're going to have. I mean, the next session today will be the quali for the sprint race tomorrow. And then, so we're not getting an FP2 or FP3 this weekend. AJ exposed, the tires can do 50. The hard could normally do 50 laps. Track is too hot. That's one condition, one of the reasons. But we've been at Singapore. We're at Coda. I mean, those are hot tracks. The track is 33 degrees Celsius. The air is 25.8. We've been hotter. I mean, Coda. I mean, we're not in a, as far as I know, this wasn't designated as a heat event like Singapore or Coda was. So. No, FP2 and FP3 means Lando pole. Well, I mean, this is a max track. I mean, he won last year. Now, granted, I believe it was Russell who took pole last year. So, because they're just saying that I Hajar, best rookie for 2025. He's in that conversation. I mean, if we're doing just some pure points, I mean, it's Antonelli. Antonelli's had a decent year. Isaac has had a decent year. Beerman has had a decent year with the Haas. Bartolomeus had a decent year. Didn't start well, but has performed better. I mean, we're still looking at Doohan and Colapino are the only two drivers who didn't score any points this year so far. Not just that Russell crying earned him pole last year. No, he technically was on pole because Max took I think engine penalties. So far we've got a 126.5. Lawson's 3.4 back. Isaac is 4.7 back. Ocon just said Max just did a 125.047. So that's a 1.4 gap to Hulkenberg. Bamman comes in 1.2 back, P2. So Max just put a line in the sand, fastest first and second sector. Though Russell right now is on an actual flying lap. Looks like he did 2 laps on his tires before doing a flying lap. Colapino comes in 7th right now. Sonoda comes in 2. He's 0.8 back. So everyone after P3 is over a second. Colapino is 2.3. Ocon is 2.4. Sainz is 2.9 back. Hamilton does 1.3 back. He's P4. So got Russell to the top of the board. He is a 124.790. A quarter of a second faster than Max. Fastest third sector. He's got the fastest first sector because I believe Lando just took fastest first sector from him. Isaac just went P3, half a second back. Oscar just went P4.58 back. Right now, see, Norris right now is in the third sector. He's looking pretty good. Antonelli goes P5. RB don't change his car. Well, I mean, they're a different track. I mean, this is a dedicated circuit. Vegas is not. It's a street track. I mean, they were on the streets of Vegas, and that's you can hear a lot. Gasly just went P4. Sainz went P1. His time was 124.443, 3.57 faster than Russell. You can hear Alonso complaining and screaming about how the circuit at Vegas is not good, but I mean it's street course. I mean, kind of missing the point there, Grandpa. Clark goes P2, 124.609. Hulkenberg is at the top board, 124.225. So Hulkenberg is 2.08 faster than Sainz. He's got the fastest second. Sainz had the fastest third. Max right now on a new flying lap, first sector fastest so far. JJ and you just asking about what the new points. You're talking about our unofficial channel points in YouTube, and that's basically bragging rights. This is who's been here throughout the whole season type scenario. I'm not sure why the bot's not showing top 20. It's interesting. I'm not in the top 20. Max just went to a top of the board, 123.343. Full purple lap. That means he's fastest in first, second, and third sector. He's 0.882, so a new line in the sand with Max. I want to thank the 1,600 so odd, almost 1,700 who are watching on YouTube, and dozens and dozens who have been watching on Twitch. Thank you so much. Snoda comes in behind him, 0.59. So Max is P1, Sonoda P2. They're all on hard tires. All right, they're all on hard tires because, again, for the sprint qualification, they're required to use mediums in Q1, Q2, and softs in Q3. So it's a tire requirement. Lando comes in ahead of Yuki, 5,000ths. Russell comes P2, 381, fastest third sector. Oscar right now on a lap, he's got the fastest second sector. Start finish line. Oscar comes in P2. 188 behind Max. Where we are at the moment. HB Slayer saying I'm ready for Max to show the world how to come back. But Raisin says he's got a cold. He said that over in Twitch chat. For those over here in the United States, it is Black Friday. Yesterday was our Thanksgiving holiday. Today is traditionally a pseudo holiday, shopping insanity day for Christmas. Science just went P2. He's 0.05, 50,000 behind Max. Gasly goes up to 11th. So as it stands right now, Max is the leading in Sector 1, Sainz is second. Sector 2, it's Oscar with Max second, and then Sector 3 is Russell with Max second. Hamilton's P5 on the board. He's 542. Hamilton had an interesting interview. He's um, he's looking for the end of the season. He's looking, and he's looking for the end of the season. He doesn't want to look back. He's frustrated. But yeah, this year has definitely been a disappointment. Lawson's gone P3, 0.78, set 178. Isaac has gone P5, 370 behind Max this time. Since Tsunoda has gone P2, Lando has moved into P8, Hamilton P7, Russell P6, Isaac P5, Oscar P4, Lawson P3, and Sainz P2. Yeah, there's the issue with the Ferrari CEO basically saying that the drivers should shut up and just drive. That did not help. The drivers have tried to spin that as all they can, but they are pretty dizzy from that spinning. Stroll's gone P10. Oscar right now fastest first and second sector right now. He's right now in in third sector right now, halfway through it. So a few more seconds and he'll cross the line. Max just crossing the line now. Oscar's going to cross the line, then Hulkenberg and Lando. Lando pits. Oscar to the top of the board, 123.039. So he's 0.3 faster than Max. Oscar loses time in Sector 3, doesn't improve in Sector 3. So 24.5. That's a tenth off of Max, more than a tenth off of Max, and more than 2/10 off of Russell. Russell goes to the top of the board. Max is now on a new flying lap. He's got the fastest first sector again. If you guys have questions in chat for me, you can at Grashariza. I'll put that in chat for both sides. Yeah, if you use the at Grashariza, that'll highlight my name. So it's just gone P2 as a P2's 0.32 on that last lap. Max has not improved in Sector 2. It's a 28.2, which is right behind Oscar on that. So it's a good Sector 2, just not the fastest. Alonso was the fastest third sector. It's gone P4. It's 201 back. Max finishes the lap in P5. Did not improve. Abandoned. So somewhere in that lap, he looks like Max abandoned his lap. What do you think of McLaren giving Lando a warning to protect his floor, but giving Oscar a warning? They may have. That's a good question. Yeah, I see that now. I misspoke, Matt. Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Again, when that happened during the race, we thought it was a fuel issue at the time. And so we were expecting to see here, like, Lando didn't have enough fuel in his car, that type of situation. It's very much that they had room to give with Lando in Vegas, whereas Oscar, they didn't have that room. And it could very easily that someone on Lando's side figured out the issue with the plank, and Oscar side didn't. Speaking of Oscar, he's just pitted a few seconds ago, and this is again to reset the car. Again, we're 43 minutes, 44 minutes left to go in this session, so 60 minutes have already gone in the session. Again, it's really been a quick session. Everyone has been on track at some point. I think the lowest amount of laps anyone has done is 7, which is Oscar. Most has been 10, which is Ocon. So not a huge variance on number of laps. Most have done either 8 or 9. I take that back. Norris has only done 6. And down to the top of the board, 122.769. I don't know if we'll see a 120, but we'll yeah, that day we'll probably we'll see. I mean, this is not the representative of what we'll see during quali and the race, both qualies in the race, I should say. What tire compounds? It's the C3, C2, C1, which is the hardest compounds. And even with even being these the hardest compounds, they've got a 25 lap restriction. Alonso went P1 on the board, but Max has just taken that from him so Alonso's now P2. Max is a 122.372, whereas Alonso is a 122.588. That's a difference of 216. Alonso had the fastest third sector until Max took it. Sonoda's gone P3. He's 265 back. That's Sonoda being within 0.3 of Max right now. Being 265. That's actually very good. Isaac is now P2, 160 back, fastest second sector. Russell's taken the fastest time, 122.165, fastest first and third sector. That puts Max only 207 back, who's now P2. Isaac's now P3, 367. Crown of Qatar just arrived. How are we doing? Just straight up people pounding laps right now. They've all been on hard tires. And again, part of that is ultimately the reason for that is that, again, the qualification for sprint qualifying, they are required to use mediums in Q1, Q2, and softs in Q3. So there's a tire allocation in play here. Stroll up to P9. He's 0.852 back on that lap. Again, this is going to be our only practice this weekend. Again, our next session will be the sprint qualification, and then tomorrow we'll have the sprint race, and then a GP qualification. Why does the tire have this does pointy thing? So when you see a slash through the tires, I think it's what you mean by the pointy thing. That means the tires are a used tire. So, for example, Isaac was on a used tire, used hard. Lawson is on a used tire. At some point Lawson pitted and came, and it's one of the things could be is that if you come to the pits, you come back on the same tire, um, those tires are now designated as being used. So Sainz right now on a used tire. Leclerc right now is on an outlap, and so basically he's on a used hard tire, which means they haven't changed the tire. It's basically what I'm reading. Tomorrow is the sprint race, not split. I thought they were on a different track in 2021. I thought they only started in Qatar 2022, to be quite honest. Albon P5 with a 122.662. Fastest second sector. So I wouldn't worry too much about Lando right now. I mean, we're only 38 minutes into the session. That's the first thing. And two, they could be having Lando on a race run gathering program as opposed to a quali run, which means he might be loaded down with fuel and other scenarios. Who's my top rookie this season? It's a mix between Isaac and Antonelli. Bierman has looked good, and Bartolo has looked good. Yeah, so a lot of you, the other big story was that Newey is going to come. Ooh, this is Lando going off track. Yeah, scrubbing that lap. But wasn't there due to the FIFA World Cup? Yeah, that sounds correct. Thank you for correcting me. But I thought we were on a different Qatar track. I thought we were like on a MotoGP track that was upgraded to F1. Again, I'm not remembering correctly this morning, so you guys can correct me in chat. Yeah, the big thing about Newey being team principal is that he is known as being the car designer. Why is he picking up HR and media responsibilities when you really want him to be designing the car? It's opening up. Is this basically setting something up so that someone else can come in to basically take over that role later on, like a Horner coming in, or I'm trying to remember who else. Stella is the other one. Andy D has been a member for 17 months, so this is one of the benefits of being a member of the channel is that you do get a free super chat each month. Here's hoping Charles is ranked in the top 10. Then we have Dark, a member for 13 months. Go Williams, Go Catering Tables. Okay. Thank you again for both of you for your membership. Being part of the family, as I refer to you. The other benefit for joining the channel is that you get a set of emojis. So Andy just put out the Williams. I believe that's the Williams emoji, car emoji. in chat. So. Did Andy Carroll get fired or demoted to something else? I think he's been moved to another role. I don't think he's left Aston Martin, but he's been removed as the team principal, if I understand correctly. Helmut Marko said Newey's not the person to be the team principal. He's a monster when it comes to design. I mean, that's again what the point here is, that his strengths in aero and design. It's not necessarily. It's interesting to see that he's now stepped up. But now that he's the team principal, he can be the monster on aero and design and dictate what is going on. What's in Norris? Norris is currently P18. It is a 23.842 is his best lap, which is his last lap. He's 1.6 back. I suspect that he's currently right now on a race run simulation and not a quali run simulation. Yeah, they just showed Bottas in the paddock. He's still obligated to work for Mercedes these 2 races, and then he's free to do everything he needs to do with Cadillac. So that's why you're seeing Checo doing most of the work, driving and other simulation stuff with Cadillac right now. He's free to do that. Yes, Stark. This is a sprint weekend. Yep, this is the only practice we're going to get. So again, it looks like they're splitting. Like Oscar's doing a quali late race run stuff, whereas Norris is doing early race run. McLaren experimenting with bright heights, I expect. Yeah, definitely after what happened with Vegas, they're going to be very much playing with that and working on that to make sure they don't get a repeat of Vegas. And a sign that we should have thought that was going to be an issue should have crossed our minds during Vegas when we saw the pretty spark shows that the McLarens were doing. Someone who I chat with pointed like, oh, look at the pretty sparks in the night. People are asking about the points for the F1 sprint. P1, so P1 is 8 points in the sprint, and each place goes down a certain point, to P8 being only 1 point. So only the top 8 in the sprint earn points. So the magic numbers Lando right now is 24 points ahead of both Oscar and Max. If at the end of the weekend Lando has earned effectively 2 points more than both Max and Oscar, he will have clinched the Drivers' Championship. So I said this earlier in chat. Is there going to be a red flag shenanigans this sprint? I doubt so. I doubt, even though I am the harbinger of red flags, I doubt that we are going to get red flags this weekend, and partly because this track has huge runoff areas. Like it would have to take driver. So this track is very forgiving There are very large runoff areas, very large areas that if you go off track, there's a lot of room. So there's no like walls right up next to you. So this is not like Monaco or Baku or even parts of Vegas where there are walls that literally are right up to the edge of the track. So again, what compounds we have this weekend? It's the C3, C2, sorry, 3, 2, and 1, which is the three hardest compounds. And even with those three hardest compounds, we have a 25 lap limit. They're showing Newey at the track this weekend. He is taking over as team principal starting in 2026. So the easiest way to put this in perspective, if Norris wins the Grand Prix, he will clinch the championship this weekend. As it stands right now, I take that back. The sprint could modify that. Let's say there's only a handful of points that separate Max, Lando, and there's only they score within 3-4 places. If as long as like Lando comes in like 6 or better, maybe 5th or better, then as long as Norris wins the Grand Prix, he will most likely win the World Drivers' Championship. He will clinch it this weekend. Yeah, Max kind of needs to basically win out, and it's possible for him to win. I mean, to win out. Even a P2 in the sprint is actually not that bad, but like winning this weekend GP would basically put him in a position to make a winner takes all type scenario going into Abu Dhabi. Yeah, one of the things that they were talking about with Newey is that he may be doing the trackside stuff, and they may be bringing in a CEO to manage the off track things, HR, PR, media stuff, which is what they've done over in McLaren, where they've got Jack Brown doing he's showing up at the media stuff at times, and every so often Stella is showing up. So they've split responsibilities, so it's not all it's not the whole shebang with some other teams. We've got 25 minutes left to go in this session. 25 and 30 seconds, I should say. I want to point out, if you guys are curious how the permutations for how this season can go out, we do have a link in description. I'm going to put there we go. It's not cleaning. What's going on? Thank you. Thank you, Ross, for putting the link in chat. Yeah, so basically we have a website where we've got more data for you to play with, look at. So like the times and other data from FP1 will be up there shortly after the session is over. We've got a season simulator, so you can play with the points, how they may be dished out, and see what the results as it may be. A lot of you were talking about what's happening with Norris. Norris was down at the bottom of the table. He's now fourth right now. So it's a 122.544, 375 back. Sorry, 379 back. My apologies. Off by 4/10. 4,000, I should say. Hamilton coming in. I'm going to bring him into the garage. So it looks like they're resetting him for another session, another program. Kento's pointing out that Mercedes should be a champion contender next year. They're expected to have the strongest engine, and the car has performed well during the hybrid era regs. So this is the pre-downforce era. So the last 4 or 5 years, basically. Hi, can you tell me what is FP1, 2, and 3? You're new to F1. Thank you very much for. So FP means free practice. So a normal weekend, it is free practice 1, free practice 2, free practice 3, the first 3 sessions, and then we have the Grand Prix qualification and the Grand Prix race itself. We are in a sprint weekend this weekend, so we only have free practice 1, because our next session will be the qualification for the sprint race. Tomorrow morning we'll have the sprint race. And then the afternoon session tomorrow will be qualification for the Grand Prix. And then we'll have the Grand Prix on Sunday. One of the things you will also hear is a term called parc fermé. So after qualification, you're not allowed to make major changes to the car. Like wing is probably like one of the only few things. There's like a few things that you can adjust, but they're small, minor things. So you can't make changes. So after qualification, you can't make changes to the car. So after this afternoon, after we do our qualifications, cars will be in parc fermé overnight for the sprint race for tomorrow. After the sprint race, they will be open to make any changes they want, and teams do. And sometimes it's for the benefit, and sometimes they screw it up. So again, once we go through qualification tomorrow, overnight, Saturday night, into Sunday morning, cars will be back in parc fermé for the Grand Prix. When you break parc fermé, what happens is then you give up basically your qualification spot on the grid and you become a pit lane start. So let's say like right now, Bierman right now is P20. Let's say he qualifies as P20, which is using him as an example. Haas could very easily just say, we're going to break parc fermé, make changes in the car, and start on in the pit lane. So Massa is suing over the 2028 title battle. Here's what's so he is allowed his lawsuit to go forward, but only on the counts that he needs. There was the FIA didn't do due diligence, and because of due diligence, he lost out on potential earnings, and that's the only thing that's going to go forward. Is that he could have earned more if FI wasn't diligent in what they were doing. What he's not going to get, and this is what's been shot down in his attempt right now, he's not going to get any statement or basically he's not pulling back the championship from Hamilton. Is basically what's going on. The FIA is not going to make a statement saying that he could have won the championship or any of those. Yeah, please don't put your question in 15 times in a row. General, if you do that again, you will be kicked from chat because So the tiny bars that we were talking about, the S, so Q1 S1 micro S, those are the microsectors. So basically, what we take the track, we split the track into three sectors. We then take the track and we cut the track down into smaller subsectors, so we can get a better granular look at how a driver's doing. Like Science right now had a mixed lap in sector one, had a mixed lap in sector two, but had one sector where he was the fastest on track. I'm looking right now. We've got 18 minutes and 25 seconds left to go. We are being hosted again this weekend by TotalMotorsports.com. That's total-motorsports.com. Great website. Great. I think they've got. They cover also Formula E, Formula IndyCar, and they also cover NASCAR. They also have a great interview section. So a great resource for you for latest information. How could Verstappen win the World Drivers' Championship? I mean, basically, Caddy. Basically, there's 58 points to be had between this weekend and next weekend. So there's two Grand Prix. Each of those are 25 points, and then there's a sprint race, which is 8 points. So Max just has to outscore Lando by 25 points over these next 2 weekends, over those three races. What is the SQ, SQ2? Those are the subsectors, Congo. All right, so a lot of you are bringing up Hamilton got screwed in 2021. I do want to remind you that Mercedes had a not a complaint, a petition to overrule what happened in Abu Dhabi in 2021, but ultimately let that go as we got to the award show. Basically, they relented on that. So you need to go back. Like, yes, there was craziness happened in Abu Dhabi, but Mercedes relented on their complaint, essentially. Is it realistic for Max to win the World Drivers' Championship? It is realistic. With 24 points, with two races and a a sprint race. I mean, there's again 58 points to be had. It is very possible for Max to win the World Drivers' Championship. Mr. Wigby, is there anyone here from New York? I am in Texas, my friend. But why are you going to New York to make videos? Is a better question. Granted, New York is a media capital of the country. It is L.A. and New York are the top two in terms of media. No, Stooge, it wasn't just craziness. Okay. It was corrupt, manipulated title. I mean, it's motorsports. We race to win. And I'm trying to what little integrity the sport still. I mean, why are you still here if the sport has no integrity? I really have to throw this to you, uh, no Stooge. Why are you still here? Oh, you do work videos at KSI. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. Why are you so salty? Why aren't you using the salt emote, my friend? My God, you guys are funny this morning. We've got 13 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this session. Again, this is Crash roasting people in chat apparently. Hi, what's the bottom right text? Is that the radio? Yes, that's the radio. So you're looking at there's a service out there that is basically taking the audio that's going over the radio and translating it from audio to text for us. And I believe this is actually something that's in um, uh, TeamViewer. I think is one of the applications we're using. I believe this is a feature in TeamViewer right now. How's FP1 progressing? Pretty straightforward right now. I mean, we got a lot of people in pits, but we'll see them come out in a little bit to do their final program. Blue bars, the oyster. No, it's not the oyster bar. Blue bars are the someone coming out or in the pits. What does MB millibars? Basically, it's a measure of pressure. So millibars. It's the unit of pressure. So worth 1,017 means that's normal. Above 1,000 is close to sea level. Whereas when we were at I want to say Mexico City, that was around over 100 or so less. Part of the live data is we're using multi-viewer to display things. Okay, people are coming out on soft tires now. So Gasly, Stroll, Lawson, Ocon, Sainz, Alonso, Isaac, Behrman have come out on soft tires. So we've got some, and already Isaac's got the fastest second sector. So we've got some quality programs going on here. So you're going to do the soft tire right now. Is qualification over? No, qualification is our next session. This is just pre-practice. Isaac has just gone to the top of the board. So this is the first big shakeout on the board, a 121.819, fastest second sector. We'll see how things go. Hamilton is pitting. Comes Lawson. He's on a soft tire as well. He goes P6. He's 0.73 behind his teammate. Stroll right now on a soft tire. He's starting a flying lap. Here comes Sainz. Sainz was on an out lap, and same as Alonso on an out lap. Though Alonso's picking up speed way before that start finish line. So this is going to be an interesting, good lap. Oscar's on an out lap. Norris is on an out lap. Albon's on an out lap. So is Gasly Colpino. So Gasly's going to be the next one to come across the line, start a flying lap. Can tell my F1 live stream is behind Sky Sports. Yeah, you'll always find there's going to be a couple seconds delay between either your TV or our stream, and that's just the nature of the internet. Stroll has no. Alonso has the fastest first sector. Stroll is a half a second off his teammate. So Stroll went P2. He's 1.86 back behind Isaac. Sainz goes to the top board 121.677. And Alonso going to the top board with 121.562. That would be a 115 difference between Alonso and Sainz. Alonso, fastest first sector. Stroll was the fastest second sector until Albon just took it from him. Russell, fastest in third sector. Isaac, fast second in that sector. Gasly moves up to 8. We've got 8 minutes and 23 seconds left to go. So Albon going P2. He's up 47 thousandths behind Alonso. Norris just finished his first sector, fastest first sector for Norris right now. So definitely on the flying lap. Russell, Colpino, Antonelli, and next three across the line. Outlap. Colpino is going to be his actual lap. He's going to be P20, and Antonelli is on an outlap. So Leclerc, Norris, Oscar in the next three. Leclerc is going to be an outlap starting potential flying lap. Norris is on a flying lap, purple in sector 1, sector 2 already. Oscar green in sector 1, sector 2. Here comes Norris. Norris is going to go top of the board, 120.982. So someone asked about the 120. We just got it. And it was a full purple lap for Norris. Here comes Oscar. He goes P2. He's 369. It's a 121.351 lap. Fastest third sector from Oscar. But Norris did a full purple lap when he finished it. Here comes Max. It's a green lap so far. He goes P3, 522 behind Norris and Oscar. Sainz is on a cool Sainz pitted. Here comes Alonso. Alonso was on a cool down lap. Hulkenberg, outlap. Russell goes to P8. Stroll was on a cool down lap. Behrman, who's 10th, now 11th, and then he goes 9th. Again, it is only free practice, but it is interesting to see who is performing. And then this is Lance Stroll going off track, hitting curbs. Russell and that was Franco Colpino going by Russell. Here's Charles going over curbs. You can see sparks on the floor, so there's definitely a little bit of damage. Yeah, we got a yellow flag. Basically, someone went off the track, came back on. Again, this is a place where we're not, unless someone really screws up or there's a collision between two drivers, we're not going to see a red flag. Hulkenberg to P7, 121.783. Again, in the past 6-7 minutes, everyone has now gone to soft tires. So we're seeing everyone using a soft tire to finish off this session. 5 minutes to go with this session. Again, this is the Racing Statistics channel. This is Grass with you with our coverage of Free Practice 1. Now's a great time to like and subscribe. If you hit the bell over on YouTube, you'll get notifications when we go live. Again, we go live for every session. And that includes, that will be this sprint quali, sprint race, quali in the GP. Again, we do all practice sessions, and we will be back when we come back next year. I know that there will be at least 2 sessions There's 2 preseason testing days that will be live. Not always going to have right now. Not all commentary at the moment, but we'll have. There'll be like 2 weeks of preseason testing. So there'll be 2 weeks of 3 days. We'll be live. Over on Twitch, if you follow the channel and you have your notifications set up, you'll get notifications when we go live. Oscar to the top of the board now, 120.924. That's a 0.58 thousandths faster, fastest first and third sector. Did not improve. It improved in sector 2, but not as faster. He's actually not even in top 2. Oscar's not in top 2 in sector 2. It's Norris and Hulkenberg by a tenth and a half for. Sainz just went to the top of sector 2, so that pushes Oscar about a tenth and a half back from that time. Lando goes P3. We got Stroll and Borrello coming in the line. Stroll goes P8. Borrello's going to pit. Here comes Sainz. Getting fastest second sector. Goes P4. He's 480 back. Again, P1 to P19 is under 1.6 seconds. And then Colpino is 2.6 seconds back. Right now is improving. Hulkenberg's on a flying lap. Antonelli's on that lap. Borrello's pitting out. Only Verstappen, Gasly, and Lawson are in the pits. I expect them to come out at any moment to at least do a start line, a practice start on the grid. Let's see. What's Max waiting for? Any moment now, you could see again, Borrello's coming out of the pits. Let's see if anyone's actually improving. I don't know. Maybe here comes Max. Max is coming out. And this is, again, with 138 left. He'll do a out lap and then come around and do a start-finish line start practice. What are you looking at right now? Again, we got under a minute left to go. Again, when we are finished with this session, which will be very quickly, those in YouTube, you'll be brought to the sprint quali live stream. If you guys could hit like before you go, that'd be helpful. Those of you who are on Twitch, just stay where you are. When we come back live, we'll be right here. Twitch. And the checker flag is out. Time has expired. And it looks like Ocon's going to be the first car to take the checkered flag, followed by Max and Albon. So this session has come to a close. Sprint qualify, but it should be. Just check my time correctly. Sprint qualifying. So it will be in 3 hours. So sprint qualifying is 3 hours. Be back in about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and a half, we'll be back with some music before, unless the boss tells me otherwise. Basically, we'll be back in about 2.5 hours with music. Maybe sooner. Maybe we will go 2 hours. I'll be back just before. So 3 hours from now will be sprint qualifications. I'll be back just before that. I don't think if there's any decision documents, we'll go over that. For everyone at the Race Statistics channel, this has been Grash. I want to thank everyone who's been here. Over 3,000 of you were live for this practice session. That's a huge number. Thank you so much. Huge number over on Twitch as well. Thank you as much as well. We will be back for sprint qualification. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.